All right, my name is Arthur DeMarchis. I came to Ossining in 1959 at the front door. And we decided to build boats here. We purchased the property from a man by the name of Stanley. And there was a plant here, which is, what was the name of that plant? Rand McNally.
Rand McNally, yeah.
They were making globes on the second floor, and after another year or two, they switched and started making the tickets for airline tickets. 1970, they had a big break-in, and a lot of people got free tickets, so to speak. Across the tracks was a Hudson Wire, and north of me was the Shattamock Yacht Club, which was operated by the people from the Shattamock, and they had a rail to pull their boats out of the water. Now, the first time that I launched my first boat, I launched it off the rail that the seaplanes used. There was a fire before I purchased it, and the roof had caved in, and we tore that off and put a new roof on the building and started to build boats. We built boats from 1959 to 1962. In '62, we decided to stop building boats. We were building wood boats, and the fiberglass came into the programs, and we were not ready to build a glass boat. So we decided to try to open up a marina, and we did open up a marina, and we first year we had 7 boats on the north side. And from there it grew. There were originally 5 partners in this business. Myself, my brother, and 3 others. Gradually, some of them decided to leave, weren't making enough money. Business wasn't that great, so they left. They all left except for 3 of us, my brother, myself, and one other person, Frank. We stopped building boats in '62 and started the marina and started to rebuild the property. When I originally came here, this property was used as a dump. This section here, the town dock, was used as a dumping place where they dug up the roads. They just threw the concrete there and left it there. And it became a hangout for a wrong faction of people. Beer cans, bottles, and it was a hangout for the younger generation, and the police were down here quite often to keep the place reasonably safe. We rebuilt all the bulkheads so we could have a little dry ground on occasion, because when the high tides came, the water came up pretty close to the street. After a few years, we became more successful with the boats, and we put up a bulkhead made of old barges, which we purchased here and there. And the last barge we bought from the Croton Yacht Club, and we still have that barge, which is out in front. Now, from then, well, the place grew until 1970. The other partner that was working with us, Frank, decided to leave, and I took it over, the rest of it myself with my brother. And I hired a couple of people to work with me, and we started to pull more boats every year. We seemed to increase our our capacity every year. It jumped up to 30, 40, 50 boats. We started to get a good reputation for repairs on engines and boats, because wood boats were very, very popular at the time. And for the older people that had wood boats, and we started taking out more and more boats. Originally, I took the boats out with a crane, and unfortunately, we had an accident with the crane. Actually, I made a 28-foot runabout out of a 28-foot power boat. The crane collapsed and took the top of the boat off. And that made me make a very important decision. So I bought a travel lift. And since then we've had travel lift, which is a much safer way to haul and launch boats. And our neighbor, the Shadowmuck, decided to get a travel lift also, because they thought it was much easier handling and safer handling of the boats. So we were there with that travel lift until 1970. And we switched and bought a new one to make it more faster to take them in and out, because it bought a newer lift. And the business grew, and my son decided to come to work with me, Joe, and we proceeded to grow, and we decided to open up a ship store, so which we did, and it became busier and busier, and it grew and grew. And in I think it was 1990, Rand McNally notified me that they were going to move away, and they were making arrangements to move back to Boston, and they gave me an opportunity to purchase the property, and we worked out an agreement where they would remain here for 6 years, and then they would move, and they would pay me rent, but I would own the property. Well, that lasted 3 years. Rand McNally decided to move out in 3 years, not in 6. So I was sort of hung with a big mortgage, which was difficult to meet, but we made it. After that, we took some of the Rand McNally building, and we rented it out to different people. And we decided to take down some of the older parts of the building, which is out in front here now. And we cleared that up and decided to rebuild the bulkheads around the marina, which we did ourselves. The original bulkheads we made out of railroad ties, and then the newer ones we made out of steel, sheet steel. And I guess it was in the late 70s, early 80s, we decided to get rid of the wood barges because they were deteriorating at a rapid rate. So we made arrangements to put a permanent bulkhead on the west side. This bulkhead was made with steel beams and panels. We built the panels, and we had a marina outfit put the pilings down, the steel beams down, and the panels slide into the steel beams. They're 18 inches off the bottom, so the fish and water can flow easily in compliance with the federal requirements for building the marina, which we cooperated with the Army engineers and et cetera. We still have that, and that's going to be 20 years old. That bulkhead out in the front now, and it's grown and grown and grown. Right now we have a capacity of 200 boats. Arsene has called me on occasion. I went up, I took my crane, went up one time, and there was a fire up here in the creek. And I used my crane and helped that out. And then down on I guess it's Spring Street where they had the quarry.
Yeah.
I went down there with my crane one time. There was a big fire in there, and I worked 48 hours.
Wow.
To help them with the fire down there.
Right.
We've done a lot to help this area grow because it brings people. They had a boat, they wanted to where to keep the boat, so they have a place to keep the boat, so that brings traffic.
Right.
I take people from Yonkers, from Connecticut, the lower end of Connecticut, upstate a little bit, New York City.
Mm-hmm.
They bring their boats here for service and repairs,
Yeah.
and for storage in the winter.
Yeah.
Now we started a hole now. We're lucky if we finish taking the last boat out just about Christmas Eve,
Yeah. Gosh.
and then we close down for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We open up the 15th of January, and then we start repairs and preparing for the spring.
Right. Right.
But we have brought people here. Since we're here, the Shadowmuck has grown. The Austin Boat and Canoe Club has grown because there is a facility here to fix and repair their boats. And they have a place to go and pick up the supplies or whatever they need. And the place just grew. And the railroad got busier and busier. So now there's a big faction of people coming in and going. This road is a real highway now. And here we are in 2016, and we're still at it. That's the story. There's resolution from the village where they complimented my wife
Right.
for helping. And in store here I have another slide that they sent me. They gave me for helping out. Here. And this here was taken from
From the webpage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he took that.
And you have a great webpage that really does tell the history of Westerly Marina. And it's very, very
Well,
interesting.
yeah, well, this here was a building. That whole parking lot was a building.
Right.
They tore it all down.
And your store, where your store is now, used to be a plumbing company. was a plumbing place for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we could down, you want to see the boat, it's
Yeah.
right down this way. Here it is. Finally.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, so.
There it is. I wanted to put it in the water machine and get this is gives you an idea. There's my carpenter shop. That's a 26-foot boat.
Beautiful.
It's all wood.
You really don't have to be a boat person to appreciate that, but if you are a boat person, then you really appreciate it, you know?
It's a nice boat.
Yeah, beautiful.
I did pretty well with that boat, but unfortunately the fiberglass came in and I didn't have the means
Right.
to set myself up as a fiberglass builder.
Well, you went in other directions. You
So I went and said I'll fix them.
I'll fix the boat.
Over
Right.
here is my place to take care of the outdoors and the aisle. And you see how many, each one of these is on a boat, you know. This is all the repairs
Right.
that we're currently working on. This is all stuff that I work on. So we're spread out pretty
Yep.
big here.
Yeah.
And we got more and more space as we needed it.
Right.
I was there when we started. Good deal of it. This was a storage room. They stored all the huge rolls of paper.
Oh, okay.
Like being built. You know, every once in a while I take a picture of them. This is what we're doing, we're working on now. Putting a new wall up here. This wall is deteriorating. So we put this new wall up. Put down to here, see when it didn't get it all the way down, we stopped. I have to stop work now because it's winter time, I gotta get the boats on.
If you had to pick one thing that you love most about this place, what would it be?
The view. You'll never get tired of looking at the river. Come on, it's beautiful. And all this walls we just put up, see them? These are all new. New with second-hand material. I buy the try to use material from different places. Now, the last place we bought material came out of Louisiana. This crane is 1944. How we do it. Just put a beam up. And all these pieces going one at a time.
Incredible.
Pieces put down with it. Yeah. See where I get the 200 boats in. That's mine right there, that big one. That's my boat.
This one right here?
Yeah. It's got air conditioning, hot water, shower,
Wow.
galley.
You don't have to go anywhere else on the weekend. Just go right in your boat.
Well, I don't get out much because, you know, I'm busy 7 days a week.
True.
There's 7 days a week. This building here is the building where I started building boats, and that's where I built my boats. We made these gates ourselves. What are we doing here with all these trucks? This building here is mostly empty. There's nobody in there. They're all gone. This is the tanks that I tell you how they go down.
Is this building also yours though, or is this?
This building I bought, yeah. I bought it about 3 years ago. And that's the other end of the building. Take it down. I can take it down, but take it back. Take a minute. Well, the trouble is you need a lot of space. Trailers take up space. The boats take up space. Your equipment takes up space. And where the hell do you go? In the corner. This we just did this year to make this here more applicable. Now this whole building here was a big sign. They had it all painted and everything. I sandblasted the whole building because I like to keep the age the way it is, you know.
Right.
And then look at it, it looks like it's brand new.
Done a wonderful job preserving it.
Huh?
You've done a wonderful job. It's amazing. Not a lot of people get to. Actually, a lot of people. Not even they don't get to. A lot of people don't have the motivation or the drive to do something like this and keep. Have the commitment to keep going with it.
I'm
so
a
long.
dreamer. I'm a dreamer. I lay in bed at night. I wake up in the middle of the night and say, gee, I'd like to do that. I'm going to see if I can find a way to get that done.
I love that. It's inspiring.
You know? And you do it.